You have the best seat in the house, mate.
Best seat in the house.
Wow. Hello and welcome to the Canva for You stage. I'm Clay, and I'm so excited to be here with you today. Now, we're coming close to the end of Canva Create, and I thought it would be only fitting for us to kind of hype the crowd up, get you a bit excited. So when I say Canva, I want you to say Create. Let's do it together. Canva.
Create.
Canva.
Create.
Canva.
Create.
Oh my goodness. Do we all feel hyped up and excited? Yeah, great. You know what I'm excited to talk about though? Maximizing team outputs to drive productivity.
Who isn't excited to talk about that?
So once again, I'm Clay, Head of Enablement here at Canva. I've actually been here for nearly 5 years and have worked with some of our biggest enterprise customers around the globe. With me on this huge couch, I have Molly Martin, Art Director at Expedia Group, and Kyle Legg, Head of Brand, Social Media and Creative at Salesforce. Big round of applause for them.
Aw, thanks, Clay.
Now, before we jump into it, Molly, can you tell us a bit about yourself? What's your favorite condiment? And what do you do at Expedia Group?
Great questions, Clay. Great questions to start us off. Well, yes, I'm Molly. I'm an art director at Expedia Group. And Expedia Group is a global travel company with a house of brands with names you might know like Expedia, Hotels.com, and Vrbo. And I work with a team of designers, and we steward our global brand for lots of content creators from Expedia across the world and our design team as well. Yeah, make lots of stuff.
Condiment?
Oh, condiment. How could I forget the most important question? You know, I was thinking mayonnaise, but I'm going to have to go with soy sauce. Is that a condiment?
Oh, I like that.
Kind of. Okay.
Thanks, Molly, for being with us. Kyle, what about you? Tell us about you.
Yeah, thanks for having us here today. I'm super excited. My name is Kyle Legg. I lead our brand social media team at Salesforce. Which is the world's #1 CRM, if you didn't know. We help companies like Canva connect with customers in an entirely new way with data and trusted AI. And at Salesforce, I also lead our Global Center of Excellence for social media. And we have 400 contributors who are creating and publishing to 140 plus global social handles. So we love Canva because it really helps us scale everything. And my favorite condiment, not to copy Molly, but tamari sauce.
Ooh.
Yeah,
I love it.
It's gluten-free.
Okay, so
Kyle one-upping me already.
okay, so today we're talking about visual communication, productivity, and driving efficiency across global teams. So in preparation for this chat, I actually asked both Molly and Kyle, what are the biggest visual communication challenges facing your industry, and how have they affected your productivity? And this is what they told me. Remote work, hybrid work environments, overseeing consistency across a huge tool stack, and a need to support non-designers who manage social media and wear many, many hats. And also, they both mentioned centralized brand systems, so centralizing all of their assets. Now, Molly, out of that big shopping list of potential issues, which impacted your team's productivity the most?
Yeah, I feel like that's a pretty common shopping list for a lot of companies. But I think specifically for us, it was really asking ourselves, how are we going to preserve that brand integrity? There's so much opportunity for inconsistencies, even within designers, non-designers and designers, of course, but even within a design team, we all have our own perspectives and kind of lens on a design. So really a big obstacle that our team has been facing is how do we protect and maintain that consistency within our brand? And then another huge obstacle was, where do we go to get the things we need to do to make our brand? So we had so many things scattered across multiple channels and platforms, and you went to go grab a logo over here and then a template over there, and you had to go get colors from some other brand standard, you know, that you had to email someone for a PDF with. And so just the scatteredness of all the brand assets really took a lot of time away from the actual designing, from the actual creating. So those were huge. The keeping up with the brand consistency, and then we just were running all over the world trying to track down our brand assets.
Yeah, and we spoke previously, Kyle, this is something that Salesforce faced too, right?
Oh, yeah. I think probably a lot of people in this room have dealt with the same challenges. We face a lot of this at Salesforce. Although we had our creative best practices standardized for social media, we didn't have a single source of truth for all of our social templates. So people were working off of Photoshop files that were stored on their computers, and they kind of morphed over the years. They just kept working from the same file and adapting it, and it was like becoming this big mess with wrong color pairings, inaccessible color pairings, retired fonts, and there was no way to really control that. So as a result of all that, our customers were having a really inconsistent experience with our brand on social media, and that just was not good for anyone.
Okay, so I'm hearing some themes around like decentralized assets, lots of different tools, brand consistency, all very meaty, exciting topics. And Expedia recently actually did a company-wide brand refresh. So, Molly, I imagine the whole scenario was even further heightened. Can you talk us through that?
Yeah, definitely heightened. We, Expedia Group, refreshed a lot of their branding recently to just reflect more where the company was going, and it was kind of a divine moment because that's really kind of when we started to use Canva to scale this new refresh. So the fact that we were able to update these colors and upload our brand fonts right onto Canva, switch logos over so instantly and quickly, I think it just saved our team so much time. Like, I want to say like a year. I feel like it takes so long to get kind of a brand refresh, not only into the hands of designers, but then shared publicly on LinkedIn, social media channels, to your own employee groups, right? It really cut down that time to get our new brand in the hands of content creators. So that was amazing. And then I think we were definitely a bit worried about kind of changing those templates. Templates are so huge for any company, but especially with our brand team, we really needed to be able to get the templates looking the way we wanted them to reflect that new refresh, and then share them easy. So we're creating all these things, but we just didn't have a way to scale them fast, and that's where Canva came in. And it was really just in that kind of divine timing that we had this new refresh, and we were able to pop it all on Canva. So it was amazing. We didn't realize really how big of an appetite our company, our employees had for those brand assets. They were flying off the shelf, the templates and everything. It was amazing.
So it sounds like resourcing was like another issue. Kyle, is that something you noticed at Salesforce as well?
Oh, yeah. And big plus one to the refreshing in Canva. It's so easy to just make a massive color update. We did that recently, and it saved a ton of time, and incredible. But similarly, in social media, we face a ton of resourcing challenges. Social media managers have to be Jacks and Jills of all trades. They need to be strategists. They need to be writers. They need to produce TikTok videos. They need to do design, and design's not really everyone's strength, honestly. I think we could all say that. So we really needed to find a way to enable all of our non-designer social media practitioners, 400 of them, to create on-brand social media all the time. They were sending really small creative requests to our creative teams, things like quote cards that really just added up and took a lot of time. There was a huge turnaround for them, for the social media teams. So that wasn't great. And for our creative teams, they were held back from working on like the most impactful and awesome work that they can do for us. So it really wasn't great for anyone, and it wasn't scalable either.
Yeah. So I know we've briefly touched on it, but I'd be curious to know from you, Molly, what impact Canva has had since rolling it out at Expedia Group.
Yeah, I mean, the impact is hard to describe, I feel like, because there's so much that's been impactful utilizing this, and especially at a corporate level. I feel like Canva's, well known in kind of the solopreneur, more small business world, and having it kind of be used in the corporate setting is really cool. I think one of the biggest things is just time back for the team, time back for our brand team, and time back for those things like I want to say like hygiene, even like making sure our files are organized and like, do we have all the correct logos like in a spot? And are we making sure, that things are cleaned up? We're kind of cleaning our room up. And I feel like a brand team is sometimes flying so fast through it all that we don't really have that time to make sure that things are organized. And it's funny to say that because I'm like one of the most disorganized people sometimes, but now I feel like with Canva, it really gave us that time back to feel like we could have that hygiene back in our brand too. So that was amazing. And then the other biggest thing is I think just having everything in one spot is really, really huge and saves so much time because, like I said before, we're not going to all these different places to grab things. And you can also share things. You're sending someone to one platform. That is really, it's like very underrated kind of what that means for teams. So that's been amazing. The kind of time back, to be creative too, not only that hygiene aspect, but the time back to be a creative, and then having everything in one spot. It makes life easier.
So Molly isn't a salesperson for Canva, but she's doing a very good job.
I swear.
Kyle, what's the biggest improvement you've seen at Salesforce?
I would say the biggest improvement and the most noticeable improvement is that we finally and consistently show up as one united brand on social media, which took years to get to this state. And that's because we have a super strong brand kit, and we're constantly updating it, adding new things to it, retiring old assets, and the Canva team really helped us set up these brand templates, and that's just been a game changer for us. That single source of truth really lets us move at the speed of social, and even bigger than that, we also get a ton of time back. So our creative teams get time back, our social teams get time back. We're able to be more strategic and creative. It's allowed us to do some really cool activations. For example, in March at our developer conference, we did a world record-breaking social stunt to support the launch of our Einstein Copilot, which is conversational AI for CRM. We did the world's largest gathering of Albert Einsteins, which was awesome. And we've also been able to work some of our social influencers into our latest campaigns. So if you see some of our TV spots, you'll spot Corporate Bro in them as an Easter egg, which is really cool. And that's all because we got a lot of time back from Canva. So thank you.
No worries.
Personally, thank you, Clay.
Thank you.
I work really hard on it. Look, it's great to hear about all these real life and actually like tangible improvements you're noticing in your creative and visual workflows. I'd love to touch on your favorite parts of Canva. So I had a bit of a stalk of your social media profiles and have noticed that both of your company profiles, and have noticed that both of you are doubling down in the video space. Kyle, I'd love to know how you've brought Canva into your video workflow and production.
Oh yeah, it's been huge for us. So in social feeds, we're constantly competing for attention. We're up against dogs and cats and babies and really funny memes. So we have to grab people by the eyeballs to just really stop them from scrolling. So for that reason, we've always tried to bring sight, sound, and motion to our feeds. And Canva makes it really easy to bring animation to everything without having memory-intensive software that crashes every 30 minutes while I'm trying to render something. And anyone can do it, no matter their skill level. So that's huge. And of course, TikTok-style videos are proliferating across every social media platform. Everyone is copying TikTok right now. So we're hugely invested in vertical video, and Canva has been a really incredible place for us to collaborate in real time. I can jump in and make some tweaks or give some live feedback or even help with like adjusting a sound effect or something like that. It's such a game changer for us.
And Molly, you at Expedia Group create like a lot of videos for travel destinations and all that kind of stuff. I know that you're saving a lot of time. Can you tell us about it?
Yeah. Oh, you bet. Yeah, I think video. We all know video is kind of the name of the game here with grabbing people's attention, like Kyle said. And I think what you said too, Kyle, just about that kind of scrolling stopping power, or that thumb stopping power, that has a lot to do with bringing in video. I think travel too, at the end of the day, is such a visual industry. If we're not having access to be able to show the world what travel feels like and who you become when you're traveling, then we're really missing out on an opportunity to sell incredible experiences, which is what Expedia Group does at the end of the day. So I think having that video component, from Canva, be so easy and accessible to everyone is huge. Video editing is kind of an elite design skill. I feel like it's tough to learn, and people go to grad school for it, and we are putting that video capability in our employees' hands and our content creators' hands every single day, and that to me is amazing. We talk a lot about accessible design too at Expedia Group, and I think Canva is doing such an incredible job of making design accessible to everyone. So we're highlighting more employee stories. We are kind of giving that thumb stopping power to all of our assets now, bringing in this video component. It's amazing. Our social teams are also creating tons of things on Canva, being able to grab a video, using a brand kit really quickly, and then bam, out the door it goes. So I think Canva too for us is also like a done is better than perfect mentality, but Canva puts the layer of quality on top of that. And yes, done is better than perfect, but let's stay within our brand too. Like that Canva allows us to do that so easy. So it's amazing. It's definitely, we're getting these video assets out quicker than ever before with it.
Yeah. Okay, we love to hear all of this. So we've talked about scale, we've talked about brand consistency, we've talked about productivity. I'm exhausted. But as we come to a close, I'd love for you to share any final thoughts or takeaway advice to the audience, people who are potentially considering purchasing Canva and bringing it into their organization. Kyle, did you want to go first?
Sure.
Thank you.
So I spent my entire career mastering tools like Photoshop, InDesign, Figma. So when we were asked to first consider Canva, I was very skeptical. I thought that's for solopreneurs. That's not for Salesforce. We're not going to be able to like have perfect control over our designs. But at Salesforce, we like to embrace a beginner's mindset. So I took off my design hat and I started to think about our 400 traditional marketers and non-designers who aren't creatively trained, and really thought, well, who's going to spend the time to teach them all these apps, and who's going to teach them about layout design and stuff like that? It's not me, and I don't know who else has the time to do that. And it didn't make sense for my team to keep switching between all these different apps and storing files all over the place, and going to Teams looking for files. Oh, is that on Google Drive? Oh no, it's on the DAM. It's somewhere else. So it's been really incredible to have everything all in one place where we can work collaboratively and we can all learn one single platform. It meets all of our needs and it helps us scale globally. So that saves us a ton of time. And today, I can tell you with certainty that Canva is not just for solopreneurs. It's definitely has a place in the enterprise.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Molly, any additions?
Yeah, no, just +1 to all that, Kyle, as well too. I think about we were actually sitting here rehearsing yesterday, and I looked over at the YouTube theater sign, and I just thought of YouTube, and the first thing that comes to mind for me for YouTube is like the word algorithm, and I think there are places where algorithms are kind of dangerous. They're really addicting, and you kind of get sucked into something maybe that you don't want to get sucked into. And I was thinking of that just in the context of Canva. When I'm in Canva, I feel like it's kind of an algorithm working for good, you know? I'm designing a presentation, but then I go back to the main screen and it something pops up that says, do you want to also make a newsletter template? And I'm like, oh, yeah, I do want to make a newsletter template. Sure. And then it's like, oh, well, do you want to turn that into a GIF? Oh, yeah, that would be great. Like, it's the algorithm working for good kind of in the creative space. So to me, I think whether you are a big corporate company or you are a solo business person or you're just planning a fun birthday party, like that, the creative space is really contagious when you're in Canva. So to me, that is huge. And then I also think too, just kind of using the brand power of Canva, the ease of it, to me, it really helped sell my ideas better back to not only my team, but just to stakeholders at our company. I had spent so much time creating decks to sell my ideas, like to pitch a concept, to pitch a video concept, to pitch a refresh, and all these things. And you kind of lose momentum, you lose steam a little bit sometimes, but you need that visual story to get someone on board, get someone to see that your vision. And the fact that I use Canva now to create these pitch decks, and I'm adding video, I'm adding animation, I am thinking about the way I'm pitching my ideas actually differently because Canva suggests, oh, do you want to put a big quote slide in there first? Like, again, yeah, I do. I'll take it. So I think that's kind of amazing to be able to help sell your ideas, not only to yourself and to your own team, but your stakeholders so much quicker in Canva. You're not wasting that time because at the end of the day, you just need to go make your thing. You need to go make your video. You need to go make your employee intranet, your social media creation, and Canva really just speeds that along. So that's been just a massive impact on our team, and I think it would help anyone in the hands of Canva would help anyone. It's amazing.
Oh, my heart.
Yeah.
I'm actually really sad because this is the end of our session. But what a brilliant session it's been. I've really enjoyed being with you here today. So big round of applause to both Molly and Kyle. And a big round of applause to you, the audience. Have a very good afternoon. Enjoy the rest of Canva Create.
Woo!
Thank you.